Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you're running a machine shop, managing a manufacturing floor, or overseeing safety protocols, you already know that keeping your team safe is literally job number one. So today, we're diving straight into exactly how to select, fabricate, and install the absolute best safety material for your CNC machine guards. Let's get you compliant and, more importantly, keep your operators protected. Okay, picture this. A jagged metal chip just ejected from your lathe at thousands of RPMs. Right now, at this exact moment, are you absolutely confident your guard is going to hold? Or is it just a shatter hazard waiting to happen? Because the material you choose is the only thing standing between your operator and a seriously bad day. Here's our game plan for today. 1. Polycarbonate versus acrylic showdown. 2. Selecting the right thickness. 3. Safety standards and winter durability. 4. Proper cutting and drilling. 5. Managing thermal expansion. And 6. Sourcing custom polycarbonate. Let's jump into Section 1. Polycarbonate versus acrylic showdown. So the difference between these two clear plastics, it's honestly night and day. Sure, cast acrylic is rigid and looks perfectly clear, but if it takes a high-energy strike, it just shatters into sharp, dangerous little projectiles. Solid polycarbonate, on the other hand, has a massive 30 times the impact resistance of acrylic. 30 times! So when a high-speed chip hits it, the polycarbonate safely dents and absorbs that energy instead of blowing up in your face. Oh, and bonus, you can actually cold bend it right on site. You definitely can't do that with acrylic. Moving right along to Section 2, selecting the right thickness. You can't just slap any sheet on your machine and call it a day. At the lighter end, 2 millimeters is great for bendable covers, but won't take a heavy hit. 3 millimeters, that's kind of your standard for light industrial guards. Jumping up, 6 mil is for heavy machine environments, and 9 mil is basically high-security ballistic-style glazing. Now, while 3 millimeters is super common for light duty, you've really got to check your specific specs. You do not want to fail an Ontario OHS inspection just because your panel didn't have enough mass. But here's a really interesting sweet spot. 4.5 millimeters. If you're designing a guard from scratch, 4.5 mil is absolutely the safest default for most CNC and lathe applications. And the best part? The cost to upgrade from 3 mil up to 4.5 is surprisingly tiny, usually just a couple of bucks a sheet. But the jump in impact resistance and safety is absolutely massive. Section 3. Safety standards and winter durability. When we talk manufacturing, fire safety is a huge deal. Polycarbonate actually meets the UL 94 V2 rating, as well as safety standards like CSA Z432. For your safety officers, this is exactly the kind of documentation they want to see. It proves the material is self-extinguishing, meaning it won't sustain a flame, which makes it totally safe for strict fire regulation zones. And then we've got the weather. If you're working in Canada, you know the drill. This material stays fully impact resistant down to a brutal minus 40 degrees Celsius and can handle highs up to 120 degrees. So a freezing Alberta winter isn't going to turn your machine guard into some brittle, dangerous liability. It holds its structural integrity when other plastics would literally just snap. All right, Section 4, proper cutting and drilling. Okay, let's talk fabrication, because you cannot treat this stuff like a piece of plywood. First off, always use an 80-tooth carbide circular saw blade. Second, feed the saw at a steady, moderate rate. If you try to rush the cut, you're going to generate way too much heat. That melts the plastic right behind the blade, leaves a horrible rough edge, and binds your saw. Also, scoring and snapping? Yeah, that doesn't work here. Finally, always put a scrap board behind your drill cut to stop the back from chipping out. Steady pacing is literally everything. But hey, it's not just the tools. The chemistry is a huge factor too. So many installations fail because people use the wrong sealants. Things like unplasticized PVC sealants or solvent-based adhesives that have MEK or acetone in them, those chemicals quietly eat away at the plastic, causing severe structural stress cracks weeks or even months after the job is done. Bottom line, only ever use polycarbonate-compatible neutral cure silicone. No exceptions. Section 5. Managing thermal expansion allowances. So why do perfectly installed machine guards just randomly crack in February? Well, think about it. If you bolt a guard down super tight during a hot summer when the plastic is expanded, the intense cold in winter makes it contract. It's going to forcefully stretch that panel, and with nowhere to move, it cracks right at those rigid mount points. The fix for this is actually incredibly simple. It's the golden rule of polycarbonate installation. Give the material room to breathe. Always drill your fastener holes about 1 to 2 millimeters larger than your actual fastener diameter. That little bit of wiggle room easily absorbs those crazy dimensional changes when the temperature swings.
Section 6. Source custom polycarbonate today.
Okay, so where do you actually get this stuff? Fidar System is Canada's trusted B2B supplier and, honestly, the go-to choice for Canadian machine shops. They hold incredibly tight thickness tolerances, like plus or minus 0.2 millimeters, so your panels are actually going to fit perfectly into their frames on the very first try. That saves you the massive headache of shimming things on site and failing inspections. And instead of wrestling with massive, heavy 4x8 sheets on your shop floor, you should definitely take advantage of their custom size and cut-to-size services. You get the panels delivered, ready for an immediate drop-in install. They carry everything from 2 to 9 millimeters. Their outdoor sheets feature permanent co-extruded UV protection, and it's all stocked locally right in North York for super fast shipping. I highly encourage you to go grab these premium, custom-cut polycarbonate sheets directly on their website at fidarsystem.com. And here's a really great perk. They offer free delivery for first-time orders and for any orders over $700. Just keep in mind that standard terms and conditions do apply. It is hands down the smartest, most efficient way to get your safety materials sorted. So I'm going to leave you with this final thought. If your machine guard took a direct hit tomorrow morning, are you absolutely certain it would safely dent? Or are you risking a catastrophic shatter? Take a walk around your shop, review those CNC guards today, and make sure you've got the right fail-safe material protecting your team. Thanks for joining us for this explainer, and we will catch you on the next one.